Hello, it is Kelly Ackroyd here, and I just wanted to welcome you to 2022. And this week, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about creating a really solid foundation for the year. So, for me, what I love to do is at the end, I actually go through like a 2-week process where at the end of every year, I kind of go through and I reflect on the year that just went by, right? Like, what was everything that worked for me? What didn't work for me? What would I like to do different in the year ahead, right? And then I sit down and I start coming up with ideas of what that new year ahead would look like. So I wanted to give you some little tips and tricks that might help you create more of a spiritual foundation for the year ahead so that you can actually go into this year with the intention of creating your heaven on earth. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to suggest, which is ultimately important whenever we're transitioning from one thing into a new thing. What we need to do is we need to go through a process of clearing, right? So we need to be able to take that time to actually sit down and clear what has gone before. So for you, that might look like sitting down and journaling about it, or it might look like creating a drawing about it, or it might look like whatever it is it looks like for you, however it is that you process through that kind of information. But again, it's asking yourself the important questions like, what were my biggest successes this year? What are the things I'm most proud of that I accomplished this year? And what are the things that were really challenging this year? And how would I like to face those kinds of things in a different way in the year ahead, right? And then once you answer those questions for yourself, then it'll kind of start giving you some ideas about how you want to move forward in the year ahead, okay? So another important part of clearing is actually energetically clearing the space, right? So either before or after you do this process, there are a couple things that I would suggest that you do. And this is something that I do whenever it is necessary in my house because every energy holds its own frequency and its own vibrational pattern, right? So some people had a really hard, heavy, challenging year in 2021, and that carries a specific vibratory pattern and energy, right? And that energy is in our homes, right? It's in our environment. But we have the ability to clear that energy using a simple technique called smudging. So basically what you're doing with smudging is you're getting white sage. You can actually use any kind of sage that you prefer. Sage has a very it cleanses, it releases energy. Okay, so what you would do is you would light your sage on fire and be careful, right? We don't want to have the fire department at your house first thing in the year. But you would light your sage, and then what you're going to do is you're going to walk around your entire home counterclockwise. So whenever energy is moving in a counterclockwise rotation, it is actually releasing and letting go. And that is our intention. So start inside your front door and move in a counterclockwise motion around your home. So like for me, I have an upstairs, so I start and I go around, and then when I come to the stairs, I come and I do the whole upstairs, and then I come back down, and then I finish going downstairs, right? But what I want you to do is I want you to sage your home and do 3 circles, 3 counterclockwise cleansing circles around the entire house, right? And I usually will either use my hand to fan the smoke, or, you might have like a feather that you've found somewhere that you could use to help you move the smoke out into the home. But you want it to get into every crook and cranny of your home. And while you're doing this, you could actually say a little mantra like, I release all energy that is no longer serving me. Whatever is no longer serving me is now released to go back. I release all that energy which is no longer serving me, and just kind of keep a little mantra going as you go through the house 3 times. Then once you're complete with the smudging portion, the saging portion of the smudge process, then what I would like for you to do is I would like for you to grab your favorite incense, whatever it is, whatever incense you have that actually lifts your vibrational pattern. Now, I am a huge fan of Nag Champa. I love the smell of this incense. It literally takes me right into that heaven space, right? If heaven has a smell, I'm pretty sure it's Nag Champa. So then what I do is I will light my Nag Champa, and then I will start a clockwise rotation, because now that we've cleared the space and gotten out everything that no longer serves us, now we want to presence what it is we want to build on. So that's why you grab your favorite incense that lifts your vibrational pattern into love or above, right? And then you're going to go around clockwise, and you're going to again go around 3 times. And then as you're going through, like the whole time that you're going through, you can just be taking your incense and getting it into every crook and cranny of your house, and be calling forth the essence of everything that you want to be experiencing in the year ahead. So you could be calling forward abundant health and wealth and love and happiness. I'm calling forth peace and love and joy and enlightenment and oneness with all that is. Call forth whatever it is your little soul wants. Call forth, whatever income you want to be making every month or for the whole year, and just be calling forth the essence of all the things that you want to be experiencing in 2022. And again, we go around counterclockwise with the white sage to clear, and then we come back in a clockwise motion for 3 circles, and then we use our incense that we love. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Now, one other thing that I would like to add is that when you're done with the clearing portion, right? So you've finished your 3rd counterclockwise circle with your sage. When I get to the door, I open the door and I release, release, release. And I will actually stand there until I feel all of that energy just move out, move past me, be released into the ethers, right? And then once I'm done with that, then I invite spirit and all that is in my highest and best good to come with me for this next part. Okay, and that's where I start with the incense going around in a clockwise motion. So if you have any comments, questions, if you need some support or whatever, please feel free to leave a comment in the comments, and I would be happy to support you in this process. Now, once that's complete, then the next thing that I would suggest that you do is sit down. And I know people hate resolutions because they're like, whatever, I'm all motivated for like the first 3 days of the year and then nothing happens, right? But this is the thing. When people pick resolutions, they're usually picking things that don't really sound so dandy, right? Like, I want to lose 15 pounds. That sucks, right? Like, that's not at all motivating, right? But wanting to be vibrantly healthy and feeling confident in healthy and energetic in your body, well, that calls you forward, right? So what I'm going to suggest that you do is, instead of thinking of like a checklist of things to do, start thinking of what you want your life to feel like. And look at it in every area. Like for your health, what do you want your physical health to feel like? How do you want to feel in this meat suit of yours? Right? Like, and just start imagining what that feels like. And then what would you feel like emotionally? How do you want that to feel? How would you feel mentally? What would be going on in your mind? You know, would you still have all that crazy chaos going on? Or would it be peaceful and calm? And you would just hear this kind, loving guidance that was just, you know, cheering you on and calling you forward, right? So think about those things. What is the essence of what you would like to experience for yourself? And then think about, what do I want to experience in my area of my career and my finances and my education? Not like checklist. I want, you know, $100,000 and I want, well, not that. But what do you want to be experiencing? Like, do you want to feel like you're fulfilling your purpose, and like you go to bed every night just joyful, feeling like, yep, today I made the difference I was here to make, you know? Or, you know, how do you want to feel, you know, financially? Right. And it's not about a number, it's about how you feel. So for me, abundant wealth is about feeling safe and secure, knowing that all of my wants and needs are always taken care of in divine timing. And I can count on that. Right. So that makes me feel abundantly wealthy. It's not about the number of my that's in my bank account. It's about how I feel, that essence of safety and security and peace and calmness. Right. So again, think about the essence of how your career feels, how it would feel to have your finances at the level that actually, you know, would lift your spirit. And education wise, like, are there things that pique your interest that you'd like to learn or that you'd like to experience that you've not yet really made room for in your life? And think about, if I allowed myself to experience that, how would it feel? Okay. Big words for you for this process is, how does it make you feel? Because remember, when we're up in heaven, we don't have a physical body, right? There's no such thing as money in heaven, right? So like, we have to speak to our spirit in a way that it can understand. And the spirit really understands when we're talking in words that could be understood in heaven. Heaven understands that essence, right? Like how it feels, right? Because the beingness is our spirit. Okay. Then next, I want you to look at your relationships. You know, like, what is the essence that you want to be experiencing through relationships? And it might be different things for different relationships, right? Like, you might want more romance in your one-on-one partnership with your spouse or your significant other, right? And you might want to have like more fun adventures with your friends, and you might want to have more, you know, more intimate spiritual connections with your family members, or whatever it is for you. But think about, what is the essence of what you want to be experiencing in these different relationships. And then finally, I want you to look at, what is the essence of fun for you, right? Like, what makes you happy? What brings you joy? What are the things that you'd like to be experiencing, and how would that feel to you, right? And then once you create this beautiful vision of what it is that you want to be experiencing over the next year, those things will literally start calling your spirit forward, right? Instead of them being these horrible sounding things like losing 15 pounds or working harder so I can earn more money. Like those are two of the least inspiring things I can think of, right? So like those things do not call the soul forward. They actually make the soul go, ugh, that sounds like not fun, right? Because the spirit is like all about the peace and the love and the joy and the enlightenment, right? So those things call it forward. So when you start thinking about what is the essence of what I want to be experiencing, those are the things that literally call you, the spirit that's within you, forward. And step by step, piece by piece, you start finding yourself creating your heaven on earth. And that is really what I wish for you this year. I wish for you to create your heaven on earth. And please know, if there is any way that I can support you on your quest, don't hesitate to reach out and let me know. You know, whether it's a one-on-one session with me, or maybe even joining up with one of our really cool programs that we have going on. But if moving forward towards creating your heaven on earth intrigues you and it calls to you, then I would love to support you and help guide you on your path. So let me know how I can help.